You need to have a balanced diet and exercise regularly. This is the misleading belief that nearly 100% of diabetics believe.
Doctor, can I ask you something? How can you say it's easy to reverse diabetes when people face so many challenges?
Well, that's a great question. The thing is, people struggle with this because they believe that the first thing they need to do to reverse diabetes is follow a balanced diet and exercise to control their blood sugar.
Well, if it's not about controlling your diet or having a balanced one, then what is it about?
So when you look at most people with diabetes, 90% are either already suffering from or will eventually suffer complications from the disease. And this seems to be considered the norm because of how the disease develops. And that's actually what happens. In fact, that's what was happening with my sister not long ago. The problem is that most people believe type 2 diabetes is related to the pancreas or the insulin it produces.
But isn't that correct?
This is exactly where the big mistake lies. Because they believe this, they end up making the wrong treatment choices, only addressing the symptoms of the disease instead of eliminating diabetes once and for all by directly treating the root cause. Many people take snippets from this podcast and ask me more about how to combat the root cause of type 2 diabetes. And the truth is completely different from what everyone imagined. Because type 2 diabetes has absolutely nothing to do with your pancreas or the insulin it produces. Actually, the root of this problem comes from your gut. That's right, from your gut. Scientists at the University of Toronto, Canada, have discovered that there is a diabetic bacteria silently living in the guts of millions of people around the world. And according to studies published on February 23rd of this year in the Stanford Social Innovation Review, it causes deadly blood sugar spikes leading to type 2 diabetes. Gladly, each year, academic researchers like us are uncovering more about type 2 diabetes, and recent findings have proven that a tiny bacterium living in our gut, unknown to most people, can trigger this disease. This bacterium acts by attacking vital organs such as the heart, liver, and pancreas, increasing the concentration of glucose in the blood, and this is what's causing blindness, amputations, heart attacks, and even the deaths of millions of innocent people worldwide who had no idea about this dangerous bacterium. However, the good news is that today I'll show how anyone, regardless of age or genetics, can eliminate this harmful bacteria to reverse type 2 diabetes in 25 days or less. And the best part, without stepping foot outside and in an extremely simple way. I'm an endocrinologist, and I'll share more about myself soon. Now, the most important thing is that you stay until the end of the video, because shortly I will reveal more details about this diabetic bacterium, which might be infesting your gut and attacking your body right now, elevating your blood sugar to deadly levels. I will also show you a quick 3-question test that anyone can do at home to find out if they are infected with this diabetic bacterium, plus the extensive corrupt scheme by the pharmaceutical industry to take every penny from your pocket, and the simple step-by-step home method that completely eliminates this diabetic bacterium, reversing this disease once and for all. Let's get started. My name is Olivia Miller. I am an endocrinologist, graduated from the University of St Andrews, Scotland, and I also hold a PhD in type 2 diabetes and chronic complications from McGill University, Canada. Additionally, I had the unique opportunity to work at Stanford University in the United States. I am also currently the Chief Director of Miller Institute, my own clinic in Edinburgh, which focuses on natural treatments for high blood sugar and type 2 diabetes. Just a quick note, stay tuned until the end of this video, and I will have a special gift for you. The main reason I sought out so much knowledge about type 2 diabetes was, unfortunately, seeing up close the damage this disease caused in my family. My mother died from complications of diabetes, just like her mother did. And when my sister turned 49, I raised a red flag. She had always had a healthy lifestyle, and in fact, had been slowing down her daily pace. However, she started to feel very unwell. I noticed she had insatiable cravings for carbohydrates and was extremely tired doing basic tasks. Her abdominal fat increased dramatically, and neuropathy was flaring up in her fingers. I thought maybe this was just normal stuff that comes with age, until everything got worse. One day, my sister told me that her vision was starting to fail, that she was suffering from constant foot pain, and she was experiencing intense hunger and frequent urges to urinate. Obviously, I was worried and took her to the doctor. After conducting some tests, he diagnosed her with type 2 diabetes. Naturally, this news devastated us. Over time, she started feeling weak while doing everyday tasks, and her quality of life declined significantly. So, we decided to seek a solution with a well-regarded doctor here in town, Dr. James. Healthy eating, good sleep, exercise, and you'll be fine, he repeated while prescribing metformin and dismissing me from the examination room. So, we did everything that was asked. She switched to a strict diet and started exercising daily with a workout routine. She also took the medications the doctor prescribed and did hundreds of blood sugar tests. Even after doing all that, her health continued to decline. Her weight oscillated, her blood sugar spiked dramatically, and her desire for sweets intensified. So I reached out to Dr. James and told him that his advice wasn't working. He recommended increasing my sister's medication, which she did, hoping it would help her. At first, she even started to feel a bit better, but over the years, taking all those medications every day wrecked her life and drained her bank account, and it left her with several dangerous side effects, like muscle and abdominal pain. Her blood pressure and cholesterol dropped, and she couldn't sleep, exercise, or even focus. Her legs became numb until one day she couldn't feel anything below her feet and had to take a medical leave of absence from work. And to make matters worse, the medication did nothing to control her blood sugar levels, which skyrocketed. She fell into a deep depression and even considered taking her own life because she felt weak, like a burden to others, and believing deep down that it was all her fault. It was a dark period in her life, and despite feeling at rock bottom, the worst was yet to come. Because on a typical afternoon, the worst happened. You always think it only happens to others, but this time it was my sister. It was a hot summer day. She had taken a break from work to try to improve her health, but was forced to return because she needed to cover the rising cost of insulin. Although she was happy to try to get her life back on track, on a regular day at the office while working as usual, she suddenly felt strange. She stood up to get a glass of water. As she did, she began to feel weak and quickly collapsed, hitting her head on the edge of the table. She said she doesn't remember anything that happened afterward, only drifting in and out of consciousness and the sound of ambulance sirens. After a few harrowing hours, she woke up in a hospital bed, in severe pain, too weak to move, and unable to feel her legs. What had happened was that the stress from work had raised her blood sugar levels, and without realizing it, she had slipped into a diabetic coma. She recalls her husband, Patrick, with tears in his eyes, crying uncontrollably while I comforted him. She says she felt sad and ashamed for putting us in that situation. She also felt helpless seeing the look of disapproval in her in-laws' eyes, who were also there, as they saw her in such a state, weighing only 108 pounds, too weak to eat or walk because her legs were in such poor condition. But above all, she felt guilty for not having done more when she had the chance, obeying and following Dr. James's useless suggestions while he deceived her with dangerous medications. So, while my sister was on the brink of death, I said a desperate prayer to God, asking that if he allowed her to survive all of that, I would be proactive, use my medical experience, and do everything in my power to cure my sister's type 2 diabetes. So Dr. James walked into the room. He said my sister would probably survive, but they'd have to amputate her legs. The sensation in her feet was a sign that her legs were in serious danger, but I ignored it, because Dr. James always said that was normal for someone with type 2 diabetes. Well, that sensation had progressed, and now they would need to cut them off. Our dad, who was there, shouted, blaming Dr. James for deceiving us by saying that type 2 diabetes could be managed with a good diet, sleep, and exercise. The doctor responded by pointing fingers at me, saying that maybe if I had helped her eat better earlier, she wouldn't be in that situation. I was furious because I had tried to help and had supported her throughout her struggle in recent years. Blaming me was one thing, but speaking to me like that, as if we hadn't already been helping her enough, was too much. I gathered all the strength I had and shouted at him, but my dad couldn't stand seeing the doctor's face any longer. He interrupted me, and we left the doctor's office. You need to understand, I'm a calm woman, but everyone has their limits. All the situation in the hospital ended up postponing my sister's amputation, and as you will soon find out, it was the best thing that could have happened. Because at that moment, I made a promise to God that I wouldn't let this happen to her again. I would take action. So as soon as I got home, feeling helpless, I started reading medical journals, health articles, anything that could help me in a desperate attempt to reverse my sister's type 2 diabetes. Yet I kept stumbling. Every journal, article, and expert repeated the same thing: healthy food, exercise, and loading up on medications. Still, following this useless advice landed my sister in the hospital and nearly cost her her legs. Well, thank God today I thank the universe for this whole situation happening. Because dedicating myself wholeheartedly to finding a cure for type 2 diabetes led me to find the definitive solution for this devastating disease, and consequently, Saved my sister's life and the lives of many other people worldwide. Anyway, let's get to the point. These days, many people know the importance of maintaining a healthy gut. After all, it's where our intestinal microbiota resides, home to 100 trillion bacteria that are crucial for our health. They aid in food digestion, produce certain vitamins, protect against harmful microorganisms, and even regulate our immune system. What many people don't know is that within this microbiota, there are basically two types of bacteria, the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. And this is where things get interesting. A recent study, published in August 2023, conducted by researchers at the University of Cambridge in England, found that the intestines of healthy people and diabetics are inhabited by different types of bacteria. In other words, healthy individuals without diabetes have a higher amount of good bacteria in their intestines, which help the pancreas produce insulin. Meanwhile, diabetics, who struggle with dysregulated insulin and high blood sugar levels, have more bad bacteria, also known as diabetic bacteria, which attack the pancreas and cause it to produce less insulin. One of these bacteria in particular is called Coprococcus, or CPR for short. I know this might sound a bit strange, right? But this crazy idea was also proven a few years ago by the Center for Therapeutic Innovations in Diabetes in Japan. In these Japanese diabetes experiments, participants were divided into two groups. The first group was instructed to follow a restrictive diet with no sweets or carbohydrates, and to exercise daily, while the second group didn't have to do any of that. In fact, they were given a single task, to increase the amount of good bacteria in their gut. After analyzing the intestinal microbiota of both groups, it was found that people in the first group, who followed diets, avoided sweets, and even exercised, couldn't lower their blood sugar levels because they had a predominance of diabetic bacteria in their gut. Meanwhile, individuals in the second group, who promoted good bacteria, had their insulin levels normalized and their blood sugar levels stabilized to less than 100 points. The conclusion of this study is that bacteria can regulate or disrupt your insulin production and blood sugar levels entirely. In other words, they can determine whether you have diabetes or not. To simplify, imagine it as a constant battle between police and criminals. The criminals, which are the diabetic bacteria, decrease insulin and increase blood sugar, while the police, which are the good bacteria, strive to maintain order and control. Do you agree with me that the more police, or good bacteria, you have in your gut microbiota, the more insulin and less sugar you will have in your body? On the other hand, if the body is infected with diabetic bacteria, especially the CPR bacterium, even if you diet, exercise, stop eating sweets, or try anything else, you'll never be able to balance your glucose and get rid of diabetes. To help you understand this in a more practical and straightforward way, and to determine if you're infected with this diabetic bacterium without needing to undergo a test, there's a simple 3-question rapid test you can do at home. But remember, you must answer with extreme sensitivity and honesty, okay? Question 1. In the past few hours, have you felt very thirsty and needed to urinate more often than usual? Question 2. Do you feel very tired, dizzy, or have less energy than normal, even after a good night's sleep or a day of light activity? Question 3. Lastly, when you wake up after fasting and measure your blood sugar, is it almost always above 120 milligrams per deciliter? If you answered yes to any of these 3 questions, it's likely that your gut is infested with harmful bacteria like CPR, which means that besides diabetes, you may develop other health problems in the near future, such as severe inflammation, amputations, infections, incurable syndromes, and even Alzheimer's. It's scary, isn't it? And this should be taken very seriously. When I explain this at conferences around the world, without exception, everyone asks me the same question. Olivia, is there a simple way to combat this bacterium to reverse diabetes, a cheap, simple, and natural method? And the answer is, fortunately, yes, there is. After discovering this whole story about good and bad bacteria, I've come to understand that the key to ending high blood sugar issues and reversing diabetes is precisely to exterminate the bad bacteria and have more good bacteria in the gut. According to my studies, the best way to do this is with what we call polyphenols. Polyphenols are a type of highly potent natural substance found in many herbs and medicinal plants. They have been studied for many years for therapeutic use, and thanks to their antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, they also have a high protective power, but that's not all. The reason polyphenols can help support intestinal health and stabilize glucose is because, in addition to assisting in eliminating diabetic bacteria, They also promote the growth of beneficial bacteria in the gut. In other words, they serve as food for your good bacteria. Currently, the most potent polyphenol found is trans-resveratrol. To give you an idea of its power, trans-resveratrol is about 54 times more potent than any other type of polyphenol. It is known for its anti-aging properties, not to mention its anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, and antimicrobial effects. Check this out. A recent clinical study conducted in 2022 divided participants into two groups. 95 volunteers who reported high glucose levels and other diabetes symptoms took part. One group received concentrated trans-resveratrol supplementation, while the other received only placebo capsules made of flour. After 24 weeks, the researchers observed that the group receiving trans-resveratrol supplementation managed to reduce their blood glucose levels and also experienced a decrease in insulin resistance. In contrast, the placebo group did not report significant improvements. This means that, in addition to naturally lowering blood sugar and combating diabetes, trans-resveratrol also improved the volunteers' natural insulin usage. After reviewing this study, I was convinced that trans-resveratrol could reverse diabetes in pre-diabetic individuals, and soon I will be releasing a very reliable source of this wonderful substance for everyone at home to try. Well, I needed to be sure if it could eliminate the army of bacteria and completely reverse the disease in people who had been suffering for years. So, I continued spending sleepless nights searching for more studies and research. Eventually, I found a new study conducted by one of the world's leading research laboratories, Imperial College London, located in the United Kingdom. After the human experiment, the researchers were shocked by the results of trans-resveratrol. In 5 months of testing, they concluded that this powerful polyphenol not only stabilized glucose at healthy levels, lowering it to below 100 points, but also improved the gut health of all the volunteers, reversing the problem of diabetic bacteria. I know. At this point, you must have some questions in your head. You might be wondering why such information isn't all over the news. Why aren't good bacteria, trans-resveratrol, and the diabetes reversal treatment widely publicized everywhere? Why had I never heard of this before? After all, if it was so effective, why isn't anyone talking about it? The truth is a bit controversial, but I'll be straightforward. This happens for 2 reasons. First reason, since it is a natural treatment, something extracted from nature itself, easily accessible to all diabetics, and not created in a lab, the pharmaceutical industry cannot patent trans-resveratrol and claim it as its own property. Second reason, because it is something that the industry cannot patent and make millions from, it poses a risk to their profits. This is another reason why they cut funding and undermine researchers. Unfortunately, because of this, the interest of companies in investing in and promoting such a fantastic solution is reduced to zero. And it's us, the general population, who suffer from this relentless greed. But I want to talk about good things, and this is where it gets really interesting. I decided not to rely on this corrupt industry that only aims to profit off innocent people. So, as a doctor and researcher in the field, I decided to create my own diabetes solution based on concentrated trans-resveratrol extract. After discovering that trans-resveratrol extract can be easily obtained from a commonly known vegetable found worldwide, and easily available in any supermarket, I bought a good amount of this vegetable and started working in a special way right here in Scotland, in my own laboratory. However, I still wasn't satisfied. I wanted to go further and create something truly powerful, something that would eliminate diabetic bacteria and stimulate good bacteria to their maximum potential. That's why I decided to add 2 more special ingredients to the formula. They are beet fiber, an exotic fiber extracted from beets. Fibers themselves are extremely crucial for intestinal health and good bacteria. But beyond that, beet fiber specifically is essential for glucose control, as it helps slow down the absorption of carbohydrates by the body, thereby reducing the rapid release of sugar into the bloodstream. This means that even when consuming many carbohydrates, they won't be quickly dumped into your bloodstream as usual. This is fantastic, especially if you want to continue enjoying cake, pizza, lasagna, French bread, pie, or even having a beer on the weekend. It's no wonder that leading universities like Harvard, Stanford, and Johns Hopkins have been thoroughly investigating its anti-diabetic effects in humans. The other ingredient is cucumber extract. This powerful mineral, according to Harvard, participates in over 300 essential biological processes in the human body. In a study conducted by 2 Mexican researchers at the Biomedical Research University and published on the PubMed portal, it was concluded that cucumber improved the intestinal health of volunteers by promoting good bacteria and eliminating bad bacteria. This led to a reduction in their blood glucose levels by up to 35.2% and lower levels of glycated hemoglobin. Therefore, this is an extremely potent and definitive combination in the fight against type 2 diabetes. After all of this was done, I had created the most powerful formula in the world to eliminate diabetic bacteria and stimulate good gut bacteria. Then, I gathered a group of 65 volunteers who were in a delicate situation with type 2 diabetes. Among them was my sister Anna. I explained that they should take the trans-resveratrol solution every morning for 2 weeks. After this period, I received the results to monitor the progress of the situation. I didn't expect to get such a positive response, and for that reason, I want you to see some testimonials from people who were part of the study.
And I am eternally grateful for this miracle that changed my life. I thank God every day with all my heart because even though I was prepared to lose my feet, my joy, and my life, what happened next completely changed my fate and gave me the chance to survive and share my story.
Finally, I can enjoy time with my children without feeling weak and ill. It's been a complete transformation. It's like someone opened a door, and I stepped out of the darkness of diabetes. I am eternally grateful for your assistance, Olivia, and I hope you continue to share this message with many others who are suffering.
When I received these videos, I was excited and immediately tried to talk to my sister to see if it was working for her too. After all, she was the person I most wanted to help in the world. When we finally met, I could see the change in her face and posture. She seemed to feel better and more energetic. There were no signs of sadness or discouragement with life, so I asked her how she was feeling, and what she told me is still one of the greatest achievements of my career. She looked at me with tears in her eyes, her voice trembling, and said the following words: "Thank you, my sister, for not giving up on me. You saved my life." That's when we hugged tightly, and I cried with her. It was very emotional for me to see my sister free from the threat of amputation and also from diabetes. She told me she no longer had dizziness or numbness. Her body no longer hurts. Her glucose was completely under control, below 100 points, with a glycated hemoglobin of 5.5%. Her energy levels and disposition were through the roof. She even managed to lose 13 pounds of belly fat. Basically, my sister went from a desperate diabetic on the brink of amputation to a woman who avoided surgery, completely reversed her disease, and now felt younger and healthier than ever. I can't even describe in words the happiness I felt. After years of suffering from uncontrolled blood sugar and all the terrible symptoms, my sister finally got to taste a bit of victory. This experience was one of the greatest achievements of my career. Firstly, because I helped one of the people I love the most in this life, and secondly, because the solution I developed showed about 97.4% effectiveness in all tests. Well, to achieve this level of effectiveness, we initially encountered some problems. It's just that I, along with my team, combined these 3 ingredients into a solution with rapid absorption that was 37 times more effective than common methods. After that, the next steps were to present the formula to the Scottish Endocrinology Committee and the FDA, hoping for approval to begin development. And thankfully, the approval process was smooth. Today, we can say there is an effective treatment for type 2 diabetes. We decided to call it GlucoHeal Solution. You see, over my 8 years of career as a health specialist, I've seen countless people try everything, like insulin injections, diets, exercise, metformin, and even natural supplements. But in the end, besides not achieving satisfactory results, many still experienced side effects and continued to suffer from the terrible symptoms of diabetes. So, I certainly don't know of a solution that works as well to control glucose and reverse type 2 diabetes as this one. This formula is the most modern and potent when it comes to diabetes. That's because it targets the true cause of the problem, neutralizing the bad bacteria that cause diabetes, especially CPR, and stimulating the good bacteria that promote health and well-being. That's the difference. Thousands of people are already using it and experiencing the results firsthand. Body pains and fatigue disappearing, blood sugar spikes vanishing, non-healing wounds closing up, nights of sleep being restored for a more productive daily life, and all that paralyzing fear of amputation, coma, or blindness being reduced to zero, eliminating the need for spending on medicines and needle pricks. But right now, you must be wondering how to get this treatment. Initially, we faced some challenges. This is because the herbal solution I created can't be shared in the form of a simple book or ebook, let alone in video lessons. It's not just about making a simple tea, mixing these herbs with water, or following one of those elaborate YouTube recipes. If it were that easy, everyone would be free from diabetes, wouldn't they? Each person has their own metabolism, age, weight, and other physiological needs. Because of this, everyone needs their own customized solution of glucoheal tailored to their unique characteristics. The amount of glucoheal and the two secret ingredients is not the same for everyone. I spent a long time individually preparing and calculating the necessary amount of this compound solution for my patients. However, in the long run, this became unsustainable. I needed a faster and simpler way to provide the glucoheal solution to everyone on a large scale. That's when I decided to invest a significant amount of money to help more and more people like you and my sister. My team and I, in partnership with ThinGenius, a renowned developer of technological solutions worldwide, created an app where I will give you access in just a few moments. I spent many months compiling all my knowledge, experiences, and ideas from over 8 years as an endocrinologist and packed it all into this app that you will receive today, and I decided to call it the GlucoHeal Solution app. I decided to create something as simple and easy as counting to 10. I made sure it didn't require much effort for you, you know. No more traditional treatments that only address symptoms and don't tackle the root cause. And certainly no more wasting a fortune on useless treatments. No more pain and frustration from not being able to lead a healthy life. Everything you need to bid farewell to type 2 diabetes is gathered within this special app. Inside it, you will discover the step-by-step herbal solution, personalized exclusively for you, which will lower your glucose levels, help your body produce insulin normally, eliminate harmful bacteria from your system, and increase the amount of healthy bacteria in your gut microbiota, definitively eliminating your type 2 diabetes, and all of this without you exerting any effort. You will also learn how to turn this routine into a habit and live a peaceful life, knowing that your diabetes is under control 24 hours a day. You will have access to the exact measurements and portions of the recipe for this solution, calculated specifically for your body. And in addition to the herbal solution that will free you from type 2 diabetes, with explanatory video lessons and the step-by-step guide to this solution. For those of you who have stayed until the end of this presentation, we have a very special surprise gift for you. Gift number 1, Guide to Better Sleep. According to a study from the University of Chicago, a poor night's sleep increased morning blood sugar levels by 23% and insulin resistance by a staggering 82%, in the largest study ever conducted on the effects of sleep on type 2 diabetes control. In fact, the lack of quality sleep is devastating for the health of all diabetics and pre-diabetics. Another clinical study found that sleeping 5 hours or less was associated with a 45% increase in the risk of heart attacks. Therefore, if you want to get rid of type 2 diabetes and improve your overall health, it's vital to know how to get a good night's sleep. Gift number 2, Eternal Youth Program. Did you know that certain foods and habits might be speeding up your aging process? Ever wondered how some people manage to stay young effortlessly without needing surgery or Botox? In this guide, we reveal the secrets to maintaining an eternally youthful body. Within a few weeks of following the strategies in this guide, you'll be the envy of your social circles. Gift number 3, Guide to Powerful Aphrodisiac Foods and Plants. Many of our clients are also concerned about low libido and its impact on their happiness, relationships, and feeling somehow past their prime. That's why, in this guide, you'll get insider information on all the nutrients that boost libido to maximize your desire and energy, effectively turning back the clock by a good 10 or 20 years. This is a great way to spice up your love life and increase your happiness. To recap, you have exclusive access to the GlucoHeal Solution app, which will permanently eliminate your type 2 diabetes, along with the Guide to Better Sleep, the Eternal Youth Program, and the Guide to Powerful Aphrodisiac Foods and Plants. Well, now you might be wondering if this will really work for you. Look, the GlucoHeal Solution has already helped over 28,000 men and women around the world. People in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 70s who suffered from type 2 diabetes. And now it's your turn to take control of your body. It's your turn to put an end to what has been impacting your health and well-being for years. With the GlucoHeal Solution, you can say goodbye to all the worry and limitations that have been haunting you all this time. And before you ask, this solution is nothing like those teas, capsules, or similar things you see out there. You've seen that this is something serious from the many testimonials I receive every day from people who suffered just like you. So, even if you've seen methods to reverse type 2 diabetes, such as pills, teas, diets, and rituals, you will never achieve the success you desire with any of them. Do you know why? Because they were designed to fail, created by the dirty diabetes industry, just to deceive you, leave you frustrated, and steal your money, leaving you hopeless and scared of any other good opportunity that comes your way. A real opportunity like the one I'm presenting to you now. After all, if my solution didn't work, these people would never be talking about GlucoHeal, and I wouldn't have helped thousands of men and women reverse type 2 diabetes so easily, and I certainly wouldn't be showing my face here, something those other misleading videos don't even have the courage to do because they know their methods don't work. The opportunity I'm offering you here is not just another one of those you see on the internet. It's something serious that I want to provide for you here. But because this site has gone viral and been shared thousands of times, I can't cover the costs of running the app alone. I need to keep the solution online so that more people suffering from this disease can get the help they need and eliminate diabetes from their lives. So as long as this site is active, it will help more and more people like you. Now I need to ask you a serious question. How much would it be worth to have a clinically proven solution that will radically transform your life? How much would it be worth to live a peaceful life, knowing that your diabetes is controlled 24 hours a day? Now imagine what your life will be like when you hear from your doctor that you are free from type 2 diabetes. Imagine eating your favorite foods like bread, pasta, lasagna, and sweets without any guilt. How much would that be worth? Think about that for a moment. You know that the thousands of people who have already tried this solution are begging to charge at least $1,000 for all of this. But I'm telling you that's not going to happen at all. That's why my goal here is not to make money. It's just to cover my operating costs, and I am proud to have this mission in my life, to help as many people as I can. This is very important to me, and it's exactly for this reason that, just for today, right here, in this presentation, you will not need to pay $1,000, not even $500, and not even $300, which would already be practically free. Just today, right here and now, you will only need to invest the cost to keep this page running, which is $27. Only one payment, no monthly fees. Click the button below this video right now to secure your access before it's too late. This will cost you less than a daily cup of coffee, not only to stabilize your blood sugar and reverse diabetes, but also to keep it reversed forever. Yes, we have to agree that this is practically free, right? But don't worry, our support team will contact you via email to answer all your questions after your purchase. Our support will guide you on how to open the app on your phone and put the method into practice today. You will click the button below and go to a 100% secure payment page, one of the largest digital product payment platforms in the world. Here, you enter your full name and email. As soon as you complete your payment, you will instantly receive the payment confirmation and access to the GlucoHeal Solution app via the email you provided. This means you can start your journey to finally say goodbye to type 2 diabetes within minutes, without waiting for anything to arrive at your address. See how easy it is? Just click the button below right now. Well, all the risk will be on me and my team. If within 60 days, for any reason, you are not satisfied with everything you receive, just contact our 24-hour support team, and we will refund all your money. This means you have nothing to lose here. In other words, you either get rid of type 2 diabetes once and for all, or we refund your money. It really couldn't be easier to make this decision. You take no risk. I want you to feel the relief when the symptoms of type 2 diabetes disappear, your blood sugar stabilizes, and you see your health improving significantly. Just click the button below right now and start your transformation. Recently, 28,000 people around the world have believed in me and acquired the GlucoHeal solution for one simple reason. It works. You can imagine how difficult it must be to get 28,000 clients if you offered something that really doesn't work. Despite my impeccable reputation, I don't want you to let this opportunity slip by because of fear or insecurity. Look, I am sure that when you incorporate this treatment into your life, within the first week you will see incredible results in your blood sugar levels and overall well-being. Your body will respond in such a positive and quick way that you never thought possible. So go ahead, click the green button below and secure your access. I believe you might still have some questions about the GlucoHeal Solution app. Let me answer the most frequently asked questions I receive for you. Why should I get the GlucoHeal solution now? Your only chance to access the GlucoHeal solution is through this video, on this page, and right now. If you close this video, you might never have the chance to join again. Besides, every day you suffer from type 2 diabetes, you are at greater risk of developing complications that can become irreversible over time. This solution, in addition to reversing your type 2 diabetes, will also improve your overall health, reducing the risk of developing other diseases. What makes the GlucoHeal solution different from other methods out there? There are many differences, and nothing compares to the glucoheal solution. The first major difference is that this solution addresses the root cause of type 2 diabetes. Additionally, it has been tested by numerous people around the world, and they have proven the effectiveness of this solution. If this truly didn't work, I wouldn't be here showing my face, and I wouldn't have received so many testimonials from so many people. This solution is incomparable to any of those miracle methods you see out there. In addition to all the bonuses you'll have access to within the app, the surprises inside, the 60-day guarantee, and the support we offer. If I were to talk about all the unique features we have inside the GlucoHeal Solution app, we would be here for hours. There is nothing even remotely comparable. You might be wondering, I've tried other methods before, but they never worked. Will this work for me? Yes, as I explained, if you've tried other means and they didn't work for you, it's not your fault. These other methods don't work because they don't address the root cause of the problem, which is eliminating the bad bacteria. I find it really hard to believe this won't work for you, as this solution is proven and approved by more than 28,000 people around the world. But even so, if for any reason it doesn't work for you, you're protected by my 60-day guarantee. So, you have nothing to lose. Well, now you have only two options. Option 1, you can close this page and continue your routine as usual, but your life will stay the same. You will continue to face the daily struggles of diabetes, feeling frustrated and constantly worried about your health. You will keep avoiding certain foods, skipping meals out of fear of glycemic spikes. You will also continue monitoring your glucose levels several times a day, an annoying and stressful process, always worried about blood sugar fluctuations. Not to mention that any wound or infection can become something really serious. Uncontrolled diabetes is one of the leading causes of health complications in the world. Do you really want to keep postponing until your health deteriorates to the point of no return? I know you don't want that. I know you don't want to keep living like this. That's why there's a second option that provides you with a new path. Option 2 is simply saying yes today to your new life and securing your access now. You can become one of those people who have truly gotten rid of type 2 diabetes, joining more than 28,000 people who have already acquired our solution and transformed their lives. You will be able to live a new life, completely free from the complications of diabetes. Think about how your spouse, friends, and family will feel so proud of your choice and the new version of yourself you are becoming. Imagine being able to enjoy a special meal without worries, travel without the anxiety of constantly monitoring your blood sugar, and even savor a dessert without guilt. You will literally become a new person, healthier, happier, and more confident, able to do things that once seemed impossible. All you need to do is say yes. I know you will make a good choice. I'll stop here, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side.